My mother said I shouldn't collect anything from anyone.
Thank you, ma'am, but my mummy said I shouldn't collect anything from anyone. Mrs. Adeyemi's smile froze for just a moment before spreading wider across her face. She held the pink wrapper of strawberry candy between her fingers, extended toward little Chiamaka. The other children in Primary 3B watched with curious eyes. "Not even from your teacher?" Mrs. Adeyemi asked softly. Chiamaka shook her head, her neat cornrows swinging gently. "My mummy said anyone, Ma." The teacher's jaw tightened, but she laughed lightly. "What an obedient child. You can go back to your seat." Earlier that morning, Chiamaka stood still as her mother, Mrs. Okafor, adjusted the straps of her pink school bag, making sure they sat evenly on her small shoulders. "Chiamaka, look at me." Her mother's voice was firm but loving. The 9-year-old looked up into her mother's serious eyes. "You must not collect anything from anyone. Sweets, biscuits, money, toys, nothing. Do you hear me? Whether it's in school or outside school, from teachers or friends, you don't collect." "Yes, Mummy." "On no account should you take anything. Promise me." "I promise, Mummy." Mrs. Okafor kissed her forehead. "Good girl. Now go. The school bus is waiting." Every day before break time, Chiamaka watched the same scene unfold. Mrs. Adeyemi would call students one by one to her desk. They would approach with eager faces and return to their seats unwrapping sweets, licking lollipops, or clutching small packets of treats. "Tunde, come." "Blessing, your turn." "Emeka, come and collect yours." Chiamaka noticed that only she and 3 other children, Chidi, Amara, and Kelechi, never went up. But week after week, one by one, those 3 eventually gave in. First Chidi, then Amara, finally even Kelechi. Now Chiamaka stood alone. One Tuesday afternoon, Mrs. Adeyemi held up something different, a sachet of sweet yogurt drink, the kind Chiamaka had always begged her mother to buy at the supermarket. "Chiamaka," Mrs. Adeyemi's voice was honey smooth. "Come, dear, this one is special." Chiamaka's feet moved before she could think. The sachet gleamed under the fluorescent lights, condensation beading on its surface. She could almost taste the creamy sweetness. Her hand reached out. "On no account should you collect anything from anyone." Her mother's voice echoed in her mind like a bell. Chiamaka's hand dropped to her side. "No thank you, Ma. My mummy said—" "I know what your mummy said." Mrs. Adeyemi's voice snapped like a twig, sharp and sudden. The classroom went silent. Then the teacher smiled again, too quickly. "I mean, your mummy is very wise. But Chiamaka, don't tell her about this, okay? Don't tell anyone. It will be our little secret. Adults sometimes worry too much." Chiamaka nodded slowly and returned to her seat, confused by the strange request. That evening, while her mother prepared dinner, Chiamaka sat at the kitchen table doing her homework. "Mummy?" "Yes, my dear?" "Mrs. Adeyemi gave out yogurt today. She wanted me to take it and not tell you." Mrs. Okafor's wooden stern stopped. She turned around. "And did you collect it?" "No, Mummy. I remembered what you said." Her mother's face softened with relief and pride. She came over and hugged Chiamaka tightly. "You are such a good girl, such a wise, good girl. You did the right thing." Chiamaka smiled, warmed by her mother's approval, and thought nothing more of it. 3 weeks later, Mrs. Okafor was buying vegetables at the market when she ran into Mrs. Nwosu, Tunde's mother. "Sister, good afternoon, oh?" Mrs. Nwosu greeted, but her face was troubled. "Good afternoon. You look worried. Is everything all right?" Mrs. Nwosu lowered her voice. "It's Tunde. He's been behaving strangely. Every night he talks in his sleep, full conversations like someone is there, with him. And during the day he's tired, weak. This morning he could barely lift his school bag." "Have you taken him to the hospital?" Yes, the doctors found nothing wrong. They said he's healthy. Mrs. Nwosu's eyes filled with tears. But I know my son. Something is wrong. 2 days later, Mrs. Okafor heard similar stories at church. Mrs. Adeleke's daughter, Blessing, had the same symptoms. Mr. Chukwu's son, Chiamaka, was sleep-talking and failing his classes despite being a brilliant student. The parents began comparing notes. 10 children from primary 3B, all showing the same signs: midnight conversations with invisible people, exhaustion, personality changes, declining grades. When the news reached Mrs. Okafor, a memory stirred. The yogurt, the teacher telling Chiamaka to keep secrets. She called an emergency meeting. 15 parents crowded into the Nwosu's living room on Saturday evening. The air was thick with worry and fear. Mrs. Okafor stood with Chiamaka beside her. "Before we decide what to do, I think you all need to hear something from my daughter." The parents turned their attention to the small girl in her Sunday dress. "Chiamaka, tell them about Mrs. Adeyemi and the sweets." With the innocent honesty of a child, Chiamaka told them everything. How Mrs. Adeyemi called students to her desk daily, how she gave them sweets, chocolates, biscuits, yogurt, how she always smiled, how she told Chiamaka to keep secrets. "Which children collect these sweets?" Mr. Chukwu asked urgently. Chiamaka began listing names. Every single name matched a child who was now suffering. The room went cold. "We go to the school Monday morning," Mr. Adeleke said, his voice hard as iron. "And we bring the police," Mrs. Nwosu added. Monday morning, the group of parents arrived at Premier Primary at 7:45 a.m. before assembly. The headmistress, Mrs. Okonkwo, was shocked to see them. "We need to search Mrs. Adeyemi's classroom now," Mr. Chukwu said. "On what grounds?" "On the grounds that our children are sick, and it started after she began giving them things." Mrs. Okonkwo wanted to refuse, but the determination in their eyes and the 2 police officers they'd brought changed her mind. They marched to Primary 3B. Mrs. Adeyemi wasn't there yet. "Search her desk," one officer instructed. They found her bag in the bottom drawer. Inside were dozens of sweets, all identical, wrapped in bright yellow paper with no company name, no ingredients list, no manufacturing date. Mrs. Okonkwo's face went pale. "These aren't from any store." "Open one," Mrs. Nwosu demanded. When they unwrapped a sweet, the smell hit them. Bitter herbs, something rotten under sugar coating. "This isn't normal candy," the officer said gravely. Mrs. Adeyemi walked in at that moment. Her confident smile vanished when she saw them all surrounding her desk, holding her bag of sweets. She ran. She didn't make it past the school gate. The officers caught her, and as they did, something fell from her pocket. A small black notebook filled with children's names, dates, and strange symbols drawn in red ink. The children who'd eaten her sweets were all listed. Beside Chiamaka's name, there was a single word, written over and over again in frustrated, angry letters: refused.